Okay, are you finally convinced that the experts don't know shit? They don't know what they're talking about. Everybody's guessing and guessing wrong nowadays. And that's why, yeah, I think we really have to be careful about relying on experts. I mean, look at this is the website, 538.com. This is like the guru of all polling data. And look what he had. Even the night before the election, he said Hillary had a 71% chance of winning and Trump only 28%. Man, actually, 6 months ago, everybody thought Trump had a 0% chance. And 2 years ago, when he was started, people laughed at him. And look at him, he's now the president. And so you're taking your advice from experts, man. They're no better than you or I, it seems. It can't. Our life is so different nowadays. It can't be. We used to be able to rely on history to give us a clue what the future will be like, but now that doesn't work anymore. So we're going to these same people and they're wrong, and we're not trusting ourselves enough. That's what I think is the problem, is that we have just as much chance of being right or wrong, and I think if we trust ourselves, we could be more right because we'll work hard at it if it's our own decision. If somebody else, we're taking their decision and it's wrong, then we just say the guy was an idiot and then I'll never listen to him again. But if we're wrong when we make the decision, then we try to understand it better and get more out of that. What was wrong about it, so we could grow better instead of taking the advice of experts. I mean, it's good to have advice from people just to make sure you're not jumping off a cliff or something like that. But you really have to look within yourself, because you're the responsible for yourself to make that decision, and you can, and you know enough, because we're all so unique. Nobody knows you as well as you. I mean, look at other things. It's not only the politicians. Look at this. It recently came out. Almost all men with early prostate cancer survive 10 years regardless of your treatment. That's right. Whether you had an operation, didn't have an operation yet, this, that, the whatever. No matter what the hell you did, you had the same survival rate. And you go to the doctor and they're going to tell you, oh, this will go to cure you. And they're guessing. They don't know. So that's why you really have to get as much information as you can and make the decision yourself. What is important for you? No one could tell. And it lives in your shoes like you do. And you could use these experts as some input or whatever, but they don't know. They're guessing, and that's why it's taking control of your own life and deciding what to do, and become more fun because you're involved in the process. You're not giving up your soul to somebody else to tell you how to live life or do these things or whatever. You're 9 times out of 10 you're going to fail anyway, so you might as well fail doing it your way because you'll work harder at it. Well, here's another thing. Look at scientific journals. They're mostly wrong. Most scientific papers are probably wrong. Isn't that incredible? Now, this is the biggest, the best information we have, whether it's prostate cancer or coffee, good or bad for you. Like the data, you read this thing after you Google something like this, up to 60-70% of these studies, the results are wrong within just a few years. They can't duplicate them. I mean, the whole process is full of problems. When we do these studies, I mean, it's something to take into consideration, sure, but remember, 2/3 are wrong. Yeah, and these are the best people we got doing this stuff. So the whole system. I mean, that's why I think it's just so much more comforting. I think if we rely on ourselves and take that kind of responsibility. Here's another thing too that bothers me. Let me move this guy over here. Venture capitalists. Okay, now, so you're talking about what kind of business you should start, right? And this is going to be, and we're all looking for inside stories about how to make $1 million. Okay, the richest guys in the world, and they're mostly guys because venture capitalists are 95% men. They're wrong over 75% of the time. In other data I've seen, it's 80-90% of the time. They're wrong. So we go to these people thinking that they know what's going to be popular. We're begging them for money and trying to convince them that this is a good idea. They're wrong. Why convince them? They don't know what the hell works. They're only right, 20-25% of the time. So don't trust what they say. Like these people on Shark Tank or whatever, they know what's going to happen. That's stupid. Yeah, they don't. They're wrong 70-80% of the time. Forget about them. Do it yourself. Find a way around them. And you can now, too. These venture capitalists with all the big money, they don't control the world. You can go out and raise money on the internet now so much easier with crowdfunding and all these kinds of other things that are out there available for you to do things. So get the experts out of your life. And I mean, sure, use them. It may be helpful, but don't build your life around these kind of people. It's your life. You have one life to live. You want to use yourself as much as possible. And I think the way to do that is do the things that you believe in, because then you'll work harder than anybody else. If somebody says, oh, do this, because then you'll make a lot of money. But if it's not really in your heart, you're not going to make sure it makes you money. Something that you really want to do. You'll put in the time and effort necessary to make that happen. So screw the experts. Your best expert is your heart, your own heart. Listen to that sucker more. We got enough nonsense put in our heads by other people. Start looking at your heart more. Make those decisions.